Hey guys, so today we're up here. We're actually at the church. We've got a anniversary party that we're throwing for a friend today. But while we're up here, we figured we'd go ahead and do some ribs just for fun. And what I want to do is do a quick video on how to do the snake method and a few tips that I've learned from doing it, and just kind of give you a good overview of how to cook a rack of ribs or something like that on the snake method. So we'll get to it. All right, so let me give you just a few details to kind of get you started. There's a couple different ways you can do the snake method. Kind of the best all around, I think, is a 2x2 method. So basically what you do is you start with 2 charcoals on the bottom, you put 2 charcoals on top of that, and then you keep going around the grill with them kind of laying over each other a little bit. You want to make sure they're touching, not just right next to each other, but kind of like overlapping a little bit. So do that, depending on what kind of charcoal you're using and what temperature you're cooking at will depend on how long it will burn. And then just get a couple chunks of wood, kind of set one right at the start like you see we did here. And you can see it's already starting to smoke and smolder a little bit, and then just spread them out a little bit. This one, I would guess this would probably go with this just regular Kingsford briquettes. We'll probably go for 5 hours at like 275, which is what we're shooting for. But once you do that, you got about 10 or 12 charcoals lit in your chimney. You're gonna go ahead and just put your grate on, close the lid. The bottom is actually open only about half, maybe 2/3, the bottom vents, and I'm gonna do the top at about a half. And we'll just kind of see where that gets us. All right guys, these ribs have been on for exactly 2 hours. Everything's going really good. The snake is running consistently about 275 to 300, and we're kind of letting it get up there because these are a little bit of a big rack of ribs. So if you want to come in, we can kind of show you what's going on. Ribs are looking really good. One thing to know about the snake method is this side is not the hottest. It's actually this side from the heat coming up and over. And so we actually flip this about halfway through to get some heat on this side. And then you can see we're exactly halfway through our snake. So at about 275, 300, you know, that snake that we built will go for about 4.5 to 5 hours. So we're gonna go ahead and get these things wrapped, and then we're gonna kind of let that temperature stay at 300 or a little bit of above. And then we're gonna get these things finished up. All right, so before we show you what the ribs turned out like, let me give you just a couple more details about the snake method. By the end of it, we ended up running it basically wide open, and it was running about 325 degrees. So once we wrapped it, we were fine with that. We wanted to go ahead and push it through. So just know the 2x2 method will run 275, 250 to 325, depending on how the vents are. The ribs themselves were a weird cut of ribs. They still had part of the loin on there. So we cooked them just like regular ribs. The loin was a little bit overdone, but the ribs turned out awesome. You'll see us, as you've probably already seen in the video, we were using some of Kosmos Q apple chipotle barbecue sauce and some of his pineapple glaze. Some really good stuff, really good flavor. We actually made it for the couple whose anniversary it was. We gave them the whole rack. So you won't see them cut up, but you'll see the final product. But other than that, that's the snake method. It's really simple. It's really good. It's a really good gateway drug into smoking if all you got's a kettle. I'll just say that. But comment, leave any questions that you got. Go ahead and like and subscribe. We could really use some subscribers on this channel. It'd help us get up and going. But other than that, enjoy these clips of what the ribs turned out like.